Hello, I'm Cheyenne. Welcome to my channel. Today I'm going to be showing you how to make this bucket hat or this bucket hat, depending on if you want to change the brim or not. The other one has a different color brim. This one's the same yarn throughout. Remember to like, subscribe, and share if this video helps you out, and I hope you enjoy it. Okay, so what you'll need for this project is a worsted weight yarn. This is Big Twist Value Blue Ombre 100% acrylic, and then a tape measure, a stitch marker, scissors, and a 5.5 millimeter hook. So the first thing you're going to do is make a magic circle, and let me show you how I make mine. I want to leave at least 6 inches of tail. You're going to grab your yarn with your thumb and point your finger, wrap it around your middle finger and point your finger. You're going to go diagonal from your thumb to the top right, then you go down and to the top left, and you hold it with your ring finger. So now you have an X. You're going to take your hook, go under this top right line, pull your yarn through, twist your hook. So now you have this loop. Then you're going to grab the top left again and pull it through your hoop. Then you take it off your fingers and you have a magic ring. Once you have your magic ring, you're going to hold your yarn in whatever way is most comfy. I like to hold mine around I wrap it around my pinky like this, and then I wrap it around my pointer finger. I have my magic ring, and I'm going to start off by doing 6 single crochets into the magic ring. So that's going to look like I go under these 2 pieces of yarn. I go yarn over my hook, pull through the magic ring. So now I have 2 loops on my hook. I'm going to yarn over again and pull through those 2 loops. And that's going to be your first single crochet. And then you're going to do that 5 more times. So you go under these 2, yarn over, pull through, yarn over, pull through the 2 loops. Under, yarn over, pull through. Let me do the other 3. Okay, so now you have 6 on your magic ring here. And what you're going to do to close it is you're going to take this tail and you're going to pull it closed, just like this. Pull it nice and tight. You're going to go back and weave this tail in later to secure it. All right, so I have my magic ring here. I have my 6 single crochets. You can see them by these little V's, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. This one is the very first one we did, and we're going to start back there. So we're going to take our hook and go under both loops of this V, like that. You're going to yarn over and pull through both of the loops. Now you have 2 loops on your hook. You're going to yarn over and pull through both. Then you're going to take your stitch marker and you're going to mark this as the first stitch of your second round, like that. That way when we work around the circle, we're going to be able to remember that this is our first stitch and that's where we start our next round. So round 2 is going to be 2 single crochets in each single crochet we made in round 1. So we made 6 in round 1, we're going to be making 12 this time. So we did 1 in our first stitch. We're going to go back into that same stitch and do it again. Yarn over, pull through, yarn over, pull through. You're going to keep doing that down the row. So we did that. Now we have our second one right here. Push through, yarn over, pull through, yarn over, pull through. Number 4, back into that same second stitch, yarn over, pull through, yarn over, pull through.
So now we have 4 in our second row here. We're going to keep doing this all the way around. So this is our 3rd stitch of the first row. Push through, yarn over, pull through, yarn over, pull through. And back into the same one, yarn over, pull through, yarn over, pull through. And I'll meet you back at the end. Okay, so I have 12 single crochets now. So you count that by your V's. So you have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, and 12 right off your hook there. You can see my magic ring opened up a little bit. I'm just gonna, now that I'm done with my second row and it's not as tight, I'm gonna close it again. We're gonna just pull this here, and that closes it nice and tightly. And now we're gonna start round 3, which is going to be 1 single crochet and then an increase all around. So what that means is we just did 6 increases for round 2. An increase is when you put 2 into the same stitch. So we're going to take our stitch marker out and do our first single crochet, go under the 2 loops, pull through, yarn over, and pull through the 2 on our hook. And we're going to remark this one. So that's our first stitch around 3. Then we're going to go into this second stitch here, and we're going to do 2 single crochets into this stitch. So we have 1, insert, yarn over, pull through, yarn over, pull through, and we're going to do another one in the same stitch. So that's a single and then an increase, and we're going to do this all the way around. So I'll show you one more time. Go into the 3rd stitch, make 1 single crochet, go into the 4th and make 2. 1 and 2. Keep doing that all the way around. I'll meet you back for round 4. All right, finished round 3. We're going to start round 4. Round 4 is going to be 2 single crochets and then an increase. Take your stitch marker out. We'll make our first one. Put our stitch marker back in. Make our second one. And now we'll do an increase in the next one. So we'll do 2 in this one. 1 and 2. And that will be round 4. So we're going to do this all the way around. We do 1, 2, and an increase. 3, 4. And I'll meet you back for round 5. All right, we just finished round 4. Here we have our circle. So at the moment, we should have 24 stitches onto our piece here. So we're going to start round 5. Round 5 is going to be 3 single crochet and then an increase. So we got 1, 2, 3, and increase. 1, 2. And you'll do that all the way around. Right, round 6, we're doing 4 single crochets and then an increase. Move our stitch marker, put it back onto our first stitch of the round. 1, 2, 3, 4, increase. And I'll see you for round 7. Here's round 6 completed. Round 7, gonna move the stitch marker. Do 1. Put back. And this round's gonna be 5 single crochet and then an increase. So we just did 1 We're going to do 2, 3, 4, 5, and then 2 in the same stitch. 1, 2. And I'll see you for round 8. Round 8, move our stitch marker, do our first one, 1, and this one we're going to do 6 and then 2, or 6 and then an increase. So we did 1, this is 2, 3, oh, messed up 3, 3, 4, 5, 6, and an increase. And you'll do that all the way around. Round 8 is finished. At the end of this round, you should have 48 stitches. So you can count those by counting all your little V's on it, if you want to make sure that you're doing it right and you're in the right spot still. But you can also kind of tell by if your stitches line up as you do each round. So if you have like an extra stitch or something, then there's probably something off with your count. Right now we have 48, and we're going to do round 9, which will be 7 single crochet and then an increase. So we have 1, put our stitch marker back on, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and increase. 1, 2, nope, that was the 1, 1, 2, and the same stitch. Row 9 is done. Start row 10. We're going to do our first stitch, put our stitch marker back. Then we'll do 8, sorry. 8 and then an increase. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And increase. Okay, so that will be row 10. Row 10, at this point we should have 60 stitches in our round, and we're going to start number 11. Move our stitch marker, do our first stitch, put our stitch marker back. And for this round we're doing 9 and then an increase. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and then our increase for 10 and 11. Okay, I'll see you at the end of round 11. Row 11 is complete. We have 3 more increase rounds. So we're going to start round 12, move our stitch marker and do our first stitch. So we're going to increase up to round 14. This is round 12. And this one we're going to do 10 and then an increase. So we just did 1, we have 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, and an increase. 1, 2. And we'll do that all the way around. And this row should end with 72 stitches. Round 12 is done. You may start to see that yours is like not totally flat, like it's a little bit curved and stuff. That's okay. When I take my videos, I flatten it out and go like this before showing you guys. So mine is also doing that. So we're gonna do 13. This is our second to last increase round. We're gonna move our stitch marker, do our first stitch and put it back. And for this one, we're gonna do 11 and then an increase. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, and 11, and we do our increase stitch. 1 and 2. This worked out perfectly that the color change just happened right at the end of this row. All right, I'll show you when we get back to the end of round 13. Okay, we've made it to our last increase round. So at this point, we should have 78 stitches after round 13. And we're gonna do round 14 now. Just gonna be 12 single crochets and then an increase. So there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Oop, I went in the wrong stitch there. 12. And then our increase, which is 1, 2 in the same stitch. This is our last increase round. I'll meet you back at the end of it. All right, so here we are at 14 rows done. We're done with our increase rounds. At this point, I'm gonna measure this. So you can see that from one straight edge to the other, it's about 6.5 inches. From the corner to corner, it's about 6 3/4. So you should be about that size. If it's a little more, a little less, that's okay. At this point, I'm going to go ahead and weave in this end so we don't have to do it later. So I'm going to take a darning needle. So I have a darning needle here. I'm going to thread this onto it. Like that. I'm going to pull, make sure that my magic circle is as tight as it can be. I'm going to hold my finger down here while I do it, just to not pull this whole thing, but pull that tight, make sure it's nice and closed. Then you're going to take your darning needle and you're going to weave it into the ends, or weave the ends in, sorry. So I'm going to go under this, and under this next one, under this one, And I'll pull through. I'm not going to pull through too hard because I don't want to pull the stitches. I just want to make sure this is weaved in nice and tight. So we have our first little weave in, and then I'm going to go back. I'm going to skip this one that I ended on and go back into this. Go through these two. Again, I don't want to pull it too tight because I don't want to pull this one up too much and mess that up. Then I'm going to go one more time in another direction. So I'll go under here, under this one. You can see I'm going under these bumps that are in the back, and that way it's not showing in the front. You can't see where the needle is going through. So I'll pull through. And then I'll skip this one again and go back into these two. And then maybe go one or two extra further this time. And maybe one more for good measure. Just go under this middle area one more time. This probably isn't necessary, but I just like to make sure my ends are definitely weaved in as much as possible so the magic circle doesn't come unraveled. And then we can go ahead and cut this. So now our end is all weaved in, our magic circle is closed, and we are ready to start round 15. So after we're done with all of our increase rounds, we're going to start, just repeat rounds. And what a repeat round is, means you're just doing one single crochet in every single one. So we've ended with 84 here. And so what we're gonna do is we're gonna move our stitch marker, starting round 15. And we're just gonna go into one for every single crochet here, all the way around the round. And you're gonna do this for 14 rounds. So this right here is row 15. You're gonna work single crochet into all of them for 14 rounds. So we're gonna end back at row 28. And I will see you then. All right, I just wanted to give you guys an update. I'm 7 repeat rounds in, so that's halfway done with the repeat rounds. And I just wanted to show you guys what it's looking like. So it is a little like curved up here. So if yours is the same, don't worry. I like to put it down and stretch out the 14 original rounds I did on a flat surface, and then look at it from that. You can see it flattens out then. And yeah, well, I'll finish the other 7 repeat rounds and keep it going. We'll see you soon. Okay, I have finished all 14 repeat rounds, so we should have 28 rounds total now. Here is what my hat is looking like. I take a tape measure and I go from side to side here. It's about 7.5 inches. If it was not curled, it would probably be about 7. So let's uncurl that and just see. Yeah, about a little over 7. All right, so we're going to do the brim now. So if you are using a different color for your brim, this is where you're going to change color. And I am not changing color, but I'm going to show you what you would do if you were. So I'm going to use a different piece of this yarn. If you want to change color, the last stitch of your last repeat round, you're going to do halfway. So you're going to go into it, you're going to yarn over and pull through. And then when you have the 2 loops on the hook, you're going to leave it like that. You're going to take your new color, this is my new piece of yarn, wrap that around your hook like this, and pull through the 2 loops. And then you can keep crocheting as you normally would. So we'll go into the next one, and we start the next round like this. And then you can take your tail You'll cut off the yarn that you were originally using. You'll cut that, leave a little bit so you can weave in ends. And then you'll have a bit of a tail with this one too. You want to have probably like a 4, 5, 6 inch tail, anything like that. You'll tie these together, do 2 tight knots so that you can't really see it. And then you're going to weave in the ends of it, just like we did with this part of the magic circle. So that is what you do if you're changing color. But like I said, I'm not going to change colors. So I'm going to go back to finishing this last stitch of my round 28 and start round 29. So at this point you should have 84 stitches around, and for this round we are going to do 4 single crochets and then an increase. So there's 1, grab my stitch marker, put that back in, 2, sorry for the squeaks, 3, 4, and then remember the increase is when we do 2 in 1 stitch. So we'll do 5 and 6. You're going to repeat this all around the hat, which you'll end up doing it 16 times. And when you get to the end, since 84 isn't divisible by 5, which this takes 1, 2, 3, 4, and then this stitch, when we have 2 and 1, that would be 5. 84 is not divisible by 5. So you're going to do it 16 times, and that'll bring you to having 4 stitches left. You're just going to do regular single crochet in those stitches, and I'll meet you back when we get to that point. So remember, it's 4 single crochets and then an increase, and the last 4 stitches, I'm going to meet you back here. Okay, so you can see that I worked up until the last 4 stitches. So I'm going to just do 4 single crochets in them without any increase. And at the end of this row, there should be 100 exactly stitches. So we're going to start round 30. And round 30 is going to be 9 single crochets and then an increase. So we have 1, put our stitch marker back, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and 9. And then we have our increase, 1 and 2. We'll do this all the way around, so we'll have it 10 times around, doing 9 singles and then an increase, and I'll meet you back at the end of the round. Okay, so I just finished round 30. We're going to do round 31 now. At this point, you should have 110 stitches around, and round 31 is going to be 4 single crochets and then an increase. So it's the same as round 29 was, except this number is divisible by 5, and so we'll be able to do 4 and an increase all the way around. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, and our increase, 1, 2. So you'll do this all the way around, and that means you will be doing it 22 times. And I'll meet you back when we get to the end of the round. All right, round 31 is done. Rounds 32 and 33 are going to be the same. They're both going to be repeat rounds. So after round 31, you should have 132 stitches. And the next 2 rounds, you're just going to do 132 again. So round 32 and 33. So I'll start the round with you, and then I will meet you back after 33. Don't forget, you're doing 2 rounds here. So there's only 1 round left after this. So you are almost done. All right, made it to my final round, which is round 34. It's gonna be our last one. And for this round, we are going to be doing 10 and then an increase. So you should, at the moment, have 132 stitches in your rows. So we're gonna do 10. The first one. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. And then we'll do our increase. 1, 2. And you're gonna do that all the way around. And I'll meet you back when you're done. All right, I just finished my final round, so I'm gonna fasten off and I'll show you how to do that. Again, you wanna leave a bit of a tail so that you can weave it in. You have this. You're just gonna take your yarn over and pull it through the loop. And then you're gonna pull the whole thing through. Tighten. And then we're going to weave in this end. Same way we did the other one. That was from the magic circle. With this, I want to make sure that I'm going in the direction of where it would go next. So I'm going to go through this back loop. I'm going to go through the V to the back of the next stitch. Like that. To kind of pull and make it so that you can't tell as much that this is the end of the round. Then I'm going to weave this in. Pull it a little tight. And go again. The opposite direction. And one more time. So I created a little bit of a hole doing that. I pulled a little too tight, so I'm just going to pull these stitches down a little bit. And then cut this off. Show you guys what this looks like on my mannequin head here. So you can see it's kind of like sunflower hatty with the way the brim is right now. So what I'm going to do is where I can see these like bumps, that's where I was doing the increases. I'm going to take my thumb and kind of push up on those. In those areas. Trying to do it kind of evenly apart here. If you can't tell where they are, you can kind of feel it or just go by eye of where you want the bumps to be. That one was a little close. All right, so I did that all the way around, and now I'm gonna kind of like hit the brim to kind of make it go down a little more. And here we have our bucket hat. I'm gonna look into ways to stiffen this edge so that it stays stiff, but I also kind of like it not stiff because you can kind of play around with it. Like, say you wanted it to be like this for the day. You can kind of do different styles with the brim with it, without it being stiffened. So if I find a good way to stiffen it, I will make another video showing how to do that. I have a couple ideas in mind. And yeah, I hope you enjoyed the tutorial. I hope you like your hat.